Buddy. Hi, welcome to the conversation just between you and me. And this is one of my favorite Friday activities. So I hope that you are a regular to this conversation, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, or Deuce, what we accomplish, how our kids accomplish and what they produce. We are judging ourselves by things that are the results of things. And what I want to encourage all of us, and I'm right there with you, this isn't one of those conversations I'm like, this is what I know and this is what I'm going to share with you. This is more like, this is what I'm learning and I want to learn with you. Because it is much easier said than done. I absolutely know that. And it is where I struggle as well, And so I always think that pain should not be wasted. You guys have heard me say that before. Good things should not be wasted. Pain should not be wasted. Hard things should not be wasted. They really are flags and indicators to where you want to lean in and where you want to go. And so if I know this is a big struggle point for me, that's an opportunity to lean in. That means other people struggle too. And that means that I have a place of authenticity to share with people. And that is very, very interesting. And so Brene Brown I'm a huge Brene Brown fan. And lots of her books talk about shame and vulnerability and guilt and, daily life, daily emotions. And so one thing that I really have gotten from her is that it takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable. And if I want to live a courageous life, if you want to live a courageous life, it has to start with being vulnerable. And one thing with that is when you are becoming yourself and you want to live this life of authenticity and vulnerability and you want to be seen, it does force you to acknowledge that you might not be the person you thought you were going to be, and you might not be accomplishing the things that you want to be. So it really is in opposition of the social media highlight reel and the accolades and all of those things. So okay, so I'm hoping this is making sense. So give me a shout out if you think I'm making sense here right now. So what, my Mary Kay people will know this, and people that know me, my friends, things like that. But if you are new to me or you don't know me very well, in Mary Kay, and this is not a Mary Kay training, but it does give you some perspective. In Mary Kay, I've accomplished a lot. Like I'm not the highest you can go by any stretch of the imagination, not even a little bit, but I've accomplished a lot, more than most, my team and I were the number 94th team in the history of Mary Kay to sell $1 million twice. So we're talking about 60 years of history, and my team was 94th. So that tells you that what I've accomplished is really, really big, right? It's really huge. It's really great. And I wish I could tattoo it right on my forehead. As an Enneagram 3, I want people to know how good I am, especially when things aren't going good. And so that's what I think is so fun. That's what I think is the difference in sharing failure versus success. If you're going to share your success, the 94th team in the history of Mary Kay to sell $1 million twice, I have to share the failure, or you don't get the full picture. The failure is that my journey has looked like this. And sometimes it trends up and sometimes it trends down. And it's important to share both. So in your life, I know that it's so tempting to only share the highlights, only share the good things, only do something if you think you can win. Story of my life. Only try something if there's a guarantee that you're going to be successful at it, that you're going to be good at it. That fear of failure because you're going to look stupid, or you're going to look less than, or you're going to look dumb, or you're going to look unworthy. It's a killer, guys. Perfectionism leads to life paralysis. Life paralysis, which means your life is going to stall out. It's not going to give you anything. You're not going to give it anything. And if if you don't give your life everything you have, you can't share with others what you have to offer. And it's like it's no good. And I don't want to be no good. So that's going to require me not to be a perfectionist, which the opposite of perfectionism is vulnerability and authenticity and failure. Like a lot of it. Like a lot of failure. Are you willing to put your life and your guts out there and be courageous and be who you are? That's what I want to say to you guys today. So in order for you to know me, you have to know the failures. You have to know that it is so difficult for me on a daily basis to look at the scoreboard in my business because I'm not on it. It is so difficult for me to see my friends just crushing it, not because I don't love them. I do love them. I do love them. I am their cheerleader. I am their champion. But at the same time, it just makes me feel less than. So instead of hiding from it, guys, shame cannot live in secrecy, or shame lives in secrecy. It can't live in the light. So if I just say, sometimes I feel less than, like a lot. Sometimes I don't feel as smart. I don't feel as good. I don't feel as worthy. I don't. And that's okay too. You know, the people that call me for advice. So the beautiful thing about Mary Kay mentorship is that we just share with everybody everything. Like it doesn't matter, you know, if somebody's in your organization or not. Like we are really together. And so a lot of times people will call me and want advice or want my perspective on things. Do you know, rarely do they call me to hear about how great I've done. Mostly they call me to hear how I've handled failure after success. That's what they call me for. And you know what? I'm pretty stinking proud of that. I'm pretty stinking proud that I'm the person that people call when they're going through one of these times in their life, because I've been there and I'm willing to share the experience, because everything good that I've learned in life, in my business, with people, about myself, has been learned in the valleys. That's when you learn everything. So if you are in a valley, bring it to light, because shame cannot live in the light. Be vulnerable about it, and I find out the reason. Be curious. What am I supposed to be learning in this valley? What am I supposed to be looking for? Who am I supposed to be looking for? Who can I encourage? You know, one of my instant tools in my toolbox to make me feel better when I feel not good, losing my little fingers is not good, really not good, is if I can encourage somebody else. I come way back up to a powerful place. So go encourage somebody who's in a low valley and learn from it and share your experiences, because I promise those times and those things you're learning will be the things that you're known for later. They'll be the things that will encourage people later. It will be a change and a difference for people. But if you keep it all here and you're afraid to say anything and you're afraid to be seen and you're afraid for people to think that you don't have it all together, and it's all here and you're not sharing with anybody, nobody's learning, nobody's being uplifted, you're just hoarding and stuffing your feelings. And I don't want you to do that. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that you can go and be brave and be who you are. And if you're in the process like I am, I think I'm going to be in a lifelong process of knowing who I am and finding out who I am. But I'm willing to go through that process, and I'm going to share with you when I learn something, when I fail at something, when I am exhausted, when I don't feel like I can keep going. I'm going to share it all with you, and I hope you share it all with me and with everybody else that's watching you, because I know that we can be an encouragement and bring things out into the light. So I hope you have an incredible Friday, and I will see you on the flip side.